Golf Central, brought to you by Callaway Golf.
Anna Jackson alongside Steve Marino, as we have really just been admiring the work of Justin Rose for the last 3 days, has barely put a foot wrong. I don't want to say it's getting boring, but tomorrow feels like a lockup. What do you think?
Boy, he's put together 3 days of a beautiful masterpiece so far. 6-shot lead, 7-shot lead, 6-shot lead going into tomorrow. Very exciting, very great golf.
Yeah, well, let's have a look, shall we, as to how he has separated himself from the pack. Came out so confident over the first couple of days with 62-65. And this was this morning, 17 under. He started his day, now on the second.
Yeah, a little wedge in here. Once again, just beautiful iron shot, perfect distance control right below the hole. Sets up a birdie.
And converts it as well. Now takes a 5-shot lead. He's in that final group with Joel Damon and Seamus Power, but it was going to take a lot to put pressure on him today. This now on the 5th, his second. Yeah,
this was a beautiful iron shot. Turns it in there from right to left, negating the pitch of the green, holds it in there right about 8 feet below the hole.
Converts the birdie, gets to 19 under, extends his lead to 6. Now onto the 6th hole, the par 5. This is his approach.
Yeah, Justin Rose has really been eating up these par 5s this week. Once again, coming from the middle of the fairway. Gorgeous approach in here. Fairway metal in there to about 35 feet. Hits the green in 2 with easy 2-putt birdie. Gets to -20.
His position off the tee this week has just been perfect. Gives himself so many opportunities to score. Now on the par 4 7th, his second.
This was some kind of special iron shot here. No room to hit it. Somehow he hits it in there 5 feet from the hole. Closest approach shot on number 7 all day long.
Yeah, one of the only fairways I think he's missed all week. Now takes an 8-shot lead at 21 under, which, by the way, was his winning score when he won this event in 2019. Now on 10, his second.
Again, middle of the fairway, wedge in hand. This is green light special for Justin Rose. He's going to eat this up. Hits it in there to about 8 feet. Would convert the birdie again to go to 22 under par.
Holds on to that 8-shot lead. Well, this is where things got a little bit shaky. Not much, but this was here on 11.
Yeah, this was probably the worst shot he's hit all week. Just missed the green just short. Probably a gnarly lie in that rough. Didn't come out the way he wanted to. Makes his first bogey of the day. It's
going to happen at Torrey. This rough is very thick, really challenging. Back to a 6-shot lead. Now driving it through the rough here on 12. Now his third.
Yes, just gets a little over anxious on this pitch. Hits it way too hard. Goes through the green, back into the back fringe. Would bogey, back-to-back bogeys for Justin Rose, something we have not seen out of him this week.
And you're wondering, is the door cracking open for the rest of the field to start walking through? Well, this was on the next hole, and it was a great bounce back.
Yeah, just when you thought he was starting to leak oil, he goes and rights the ship with this beautiful pitch. Very difficult shot. He had to navigate a bunch of green there, up over a huge ridge. Beautiful shot, tap in birdie.
So impressive. 7-shot lead. This now on 16 to save par from about 6 feet.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen him miss many of these this week. I mean, you're going to miss a few of them, but he had been making almost all of them, so this was a little bit shocking to see him miss that putt.
Drops back to 20 under. He is human after all this week, and now on 18, a really lovely approach here on the par 5.
Yeah, just a little icing on the cake. Back left pin, drives it in there low, lands it short, gets it to spin and check up about 3 feet from the hole. Another birdie, 6-shot lead for Justin Rose.
He could not have done much more today. At one point, extending that lead to 8 shots around Torrey South course. You can see just how delighted he is with his play so far. Came into the week very prepared, and you can see it. Did have those 3 bogeys on the back, but overall a 4 under 68 puts Justin Rose at 21 under going into tomorrow. So the stage is set for a big Sunday for Justin Rose as we send it out to Todd Lewis.
And you look back at this 68, how would you compare your play today to the first 2 days where you were lights out here?
Yeah, weirdly, I actually feel like I hit the ball better today. I almost felt like I played better today. But obviously there were putts that just sort of slid by the edges. You know, first couple of days, made pretty much everything I looked at. Versus today, a couple reads were a little bit off. But the greens, they got a little more crusty on the back 9 as well. So it wasn't like you wanted to sort of like be too positive with them and have that sort of 3-4 feet coming back either. But yeah, listen, I played great today and was delighted with the round, enjoyed it. And obviously there, the back 9, it's not exactly windy, but once the wind kicks up to that 10 mile an hour, it definitely gets your attention.
21 under par here on one of the toughest venues on the PGA Tour, at least 2 days on it. You've got a significant lead. You're 1 shot off the 72-hole scoring record held by Tiger Woods at 99 here. For us people who've never been in, quote, the zone like you have been the last 3 days, how would you describe this feeling with your game right now?
Yeah, just a lot of discipline, I suppose, in my decision making. Trying to play smart where I have to, trying to obviously continue to hit good shots. But even some of your shots that you're playing towards middle of the green have to be committed. So I think overall level of commitment has been great this week. I've reset pretty well when there's been a little mini mistake, and those are the things. I feel like I've managed my game well, and obviously played well too. So that'll be what's going to be needed tomorrow. Is obviously good solid golf. Going to have to play well as you do on this golf course, just to get around on any day and just manage things really well.
I'm going to jump to tomorrow. This is the 18th time you've had at least to share the 54-hole lead heading into the final round. I don't know, dating back to your junior days, if you've ever had such a significant lead heading into the final round. But mentally and from a strategy perspective, how do you approach the final day with someone not immediately in your rearview mirror?
Yeah, it's not a position I'm super comfortable, comfortable with, familiar with. Yeah, it probably happens once in a blue moon, so it's not something you can practice for. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to have to just go out there and break it down shot by shot, good old boring adages. But that's the only way to do it, really. But again, like I said, I think even after the day two, I feel like this golf course, whether you're 4 behind or 4 ahead, you have to play it the right way. There's certain pins you can take on, there's certain pins you just can't, and you've got to play from as short grass as you possibly can. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow.
Just hearing the way that he talks about his strategy around Torrey Pines, using, decision-making, smart golf, commitment, that's all the things that I think comes with experience, and his record around Torrey Pines is better than it is better than anyone else in the field. He came out this morning with a 4-shot lead. Maybe could have got a bit defensive, but there was no sign. He just had a perfect front nine, Steve. What impressed you about the way that he started the day?
Well, it was just a masterclass in ball striking, and off the tee and approach shots into the greens. His irons were just flawless. It was almost like he was playing a video game, Tiger Woods, PGA Tour, something like that. Every iron shot was absolutely perfect, pin high, and his putter continued to stay hot. So his first 11 holes, or first 10 holes today were some of the most impressive golf I think I've seen in a long time.
And then onto the second as well. It was but when you're playing out of the middle of the fairway, it's such a huge advantage around Torrey.
That's number one on the checklist when you're playing Torrey Pines South course. You got to be coming out of the fairway, control your ball, control your distance, control your spin, and he has just been doing that unbelievably well. This was my favorite shot of his right here. Out of the right first cut, there is no room back there to this back right pin. This shot was absolutely phenomenal. Perfect distance control, right below the hole, closest to the hole all day on that hole.
So that was for 3 straight birdies, 5 through 7, another birdie on 10. Just when you think maybe things might be slightly going off the rails, he bogeys 11 and 12. Maybe the door is opening, but he finds a way to recover. This was a tough break as well on 13.
Yeah, really uncharacteristic shot from the fairway, going for the green and 2, takes 3-wood out, kind of double crosses it, and this is not an easy shot. He's in that thick rough. He's got to carry it onto the green, then it goes down through a big bowl, up through the other side, perfect pace, hits it up there to about 2 feet, and just when you think Justin Rose might have been losing it a little bit, he said, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, we thought maybe it might get interesting. I don't think so. And it's similar to what we've seen all week.
Yeah, every time he's been in a little bit of a spot of bother, he's been able to extricate himself from that. This was yesterday. This was one of my favorite shots he hit yesterday. Bunker shot, beautiful, had to land it right in the upslope. Very difficult to execute, perfect contact, executed it to perfection.